Alright, I'm back. It's time for more Pokemon Run and Bun Nuzlocke by someone who doesn't know how to do these things very well. I believe this is my 8th session trying this game on stream and my 9th attempt at the Nuzlocke. I sat down to start, and then I pressed start, and then I went, wait, I should think about what I'm going to do. That would have made sense to do before I started. But here we are, we're in. We've got a lovely new chibi me, drawn by my wonderful fiance. If you check the Twitch description, it links to her storefront or her like artist Twitter page, so you can commission her to make one of yourself. There you go. And I'm meant to be playing Pokemon. That's what's happening right now, right? And as I'm saying that, I'm trying to find the sheet where like I look at my Pokemon. You can do it. There we go. I closed too many tabs, and I think I closed the wrong tab. But now we're back. We're back, baby. Okay, first gym trainer is Battle Girl Laura. She goes from Riolu to Stuffuel to Mankey. I'm gonna flick on over to the line document and then realize that that is no longer pointed at a real Chrome tab and then pointed at a real Chrome tab. And then I guess I have to full screen it. Look at that. I am in the way when it is on this page, but you can see the top part. It's fine. You can even see my cursor. I have to have a really big cursor because I'm blind. I think it should be fine on this one though, the damage calculator. Yeah, cool. Did I put in everything here? Yeah, I put in Granite Cave. Oh, I never caught something in Slateport. Cool. Yeah, I didn't catch something in Slate. In fact, new first mission, go get something in Slateport. It's important not to leave resources on the table. That's the plan, right? That's my whole strategy here. Get resources, use resources, be smart. Optimize every individual moment for success. Even if that slows down your moments for success in the macro, it means that you're going to do better while learning. Alright. It's a horsey! Yeah, I'll poison powder it and then just like win on the catch it before the clock runs out. See? What's the name for a horsey? Inch, because you are 1 inch tall, because you are very small. I really like the Slateport theme. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and Endless Rare Candy Inch, so that it too is at the current level cap. Endless Rare Candy. Now I believe that in Run and Bun, Horsey evolves into Seadra at 22, but I am quite confident in the decision I made to... Oh, no, I lied. It evolves into Horsey at 20. Never mind. I'm rolling my eyes. Hello, Mr. Jelly99. Thank you. You're welcome back as well. Check out the cool chibi my fiance drew. That's what I look like, but somehow even more cherubic and angelic than my actual face. It does capture roughly the proportions of my forehead. I have a giant forehead. It stores all of my thoughts. It's a really cute chibi. I'm so happy. It is just a sketch. She was stressed about doing one of an actual person, but she is very willing to be nice to me, so she did this drawing. And check it out, I've also updated the stream a tiny bit. I forgot to set the timer, but, you know, the timer's more like... ish than at. There we go. Now it's green again, and it's ticking. And Twitch chat is now visible on the stream. I'm amazed I worked out how to do that. I had to follow a really complicated 3-minute YouTube tutorial. but it means that when people look at these VODs, because I guess people will look at the VODs, they'll know what I'm actually responding to, which is probably helpful in terms of making this cohesive. So, now I have a Seadra. Let's see what Dra does. I have to run a script so that it lets me copy all of my Pokemon's information and then put it in the calculator. And then, bosh. Here's all my Pokemon. Here's the team I just beat, which means this is the team. Nope, this is the team I'm up to. Now I can do some hard crunching numbers. Thank you. It is nice. Oh, chat isn't going to be visible when I'm on this screen. That's okay, I can figure it out. I need to go in here and then select all, copy, and then we'll do it live. Oh, that's weird. It puts a black rectangle on it. Well, that's fine. That's a question to answer for another day. I'll work it out. We'll get there. I also could afford to zoom in a bit and make this more legible for y'all, me all, us all. I like being able to see. I think this is good enough. Then I have like a decent vantage on the moves and the mons here. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so Riolu is first. It has Eviolite, so it will take reduced damage, but Kadabra can still theoretically one-shot it and cannot die even to a crit body slam. That said, is Kadabra more useful against something else? Kadabra outspeeds, right? 31. Yeah, outspeeds and one-shots the Mankey. So if Kadabra comes in against the Stuffuel instead, it's kind of risky because, like, it's kind of risky to switch Kadabra into stuff because of how much of a glass cannon it is. And that is a large element to... Yep, we are in Brawly's gym trainers. This is the first Brawly gym trainer. A large element of Run and Bun is, like, working out how to safely switchly inly your own Pokemon and then winning with them. So, like, my Kadabra is goated, but if I switch it into this Stuffuel, it takes, like, potentially 60% and potentially gets paralyzed, right? And sure, it outspeeds and can 2-hit KO, but because it takes a hit switching in, it doesn't work. But first battle, nothing to really worry about here. Masquerain starts off, intimidates, dropping Riol's... No, it won't drop Riolu's attack because it's got Inner Focus, and Inner Focus prevents Intimidate. But 2 gusts and this thing dies. Stuffuel, I believe, comes out next, and then 2 gusts and this thing dies, and then Mankey comes out next, and probably 1 gust and this thing dies. We've done enough thinking for this battle. Is it stopped? I don't know how people make... Oh, yeah, there we go. Look at that. Okay, cool. So the plan is Masquerain in front, everyone else behind Masquerain, and then we just sort of sweep with Masquerain. And it's nice to be rewarded, right? Because we invested a quite rare resource into Masquerain, so it's nice to get, like, payout for that. In my last streaming session, yes, also the Kadabra has the correct ability in the calculator when it didn't before. Still don't understand what that was, but hey, it was kind of funny, so we'll roll with it. Last time, I realized I hadn't really looked at this item location sheet and paid attention to where the items were. So, for example, I hadn't found the heart scales that are already on offer. I knew about the one rare candy here, but I hadn't, like, looked at the other held items, so I hadn't gotten the silk scarf, the soft sand. I'm not going to do that yet, but now it's in my head as a thing I need to do, and it can stay there forever. as I keep forgetting to do it. That'll be fun. That'll be a nice moment for us. Back to Dewford. Alright, my mental checklist before I go into a battle. The team I need is here. Masquerain and friends. The Pokemon I want in the lead is in the lead. Masquerain. And they are all holding the correct item. Oran berries. So the mental checklist has been checked. Yo, champ in the making. Seems this is your first gym challenge, so I'm responsible for informing you of the rules. The bag is inaccessible during trainer battles. Battle style is forced to set. Consumable held items will not come back after battles. You cannot thief items from trainers or wild Pokemon. There is a soft level cap before each boss, which removes EXP gain and prevents the endless rare candy from working. The only way to overcome that cap is with rare candies, but they are rare and limited in this region. You are automatically healed to full in every battle that takes place inside of a Pokemon gym. If you ever want me to reiterate the rules, tough luck. They don't pay me enough to deal with the unattentive trainers who won't make it that far. Thanks, guy. First trainer. I'm just jamming to the trainer battle theme. So we remembered that Intimidate wouldn't actually proc. But we also knew that we were going to outspeed and theoretically 1 to 2 hit KO everything in this fight with Gust. All we need is to not get paralyzed by that first body slam. Or by this second body slam. We got paralyzed. But we have the Oran berry. Okay. Here we have a moment, right? Let's take the time to think it through. Kadabra switches in. Kadabra switches in, takes 60% for sure. And then doesn't necessarily kill. So we're going to switch to Ponyta instead. The Flame Body proc would make that switch in safer if that happens, and if the Flame Body proc doesn't happen, Flame Wheel will deal functionally super effective damage because of Fluffy, and thus will KO this Stuffule. There we go. Alright, now we just have Kadabra ready to kill. Because Kadabra always one-shots Mankey, and even if this Mankey crits with any of its moves, it cannot one-shot a full health Kadabra. And it was always going to use Stomping Tantrum as well, because it was in front of a Ponyta. It might be that the stream keeps freezing. I don't know how I'll check that, TBH. It could also be that I just keep stuttering, because it's actually so hard to yap a lot. I'm just going to truck along. See, now I've got 2 people vouching for the stream being bad. I live in an apartment complex. Sometimes it is quite complex. Alright. There's not much I can do about this in the moment, so I'm just going to valiantly pretend it isn't happening. So, first trainer down, second trainer up. They start off with a Galarian Farfetch'd. While we could potentially one-shot with Kadabra, we also would definitely get one-shot if it doesn't work, so we're not going to do that. In fact, it looks like Kadabra can't one-shot Heracross either, so Kadabra probably isn't switching in this fight. That in mind, Masquerain, again, Intimidate won't proc because this thing has Inner Focus. It's almost like they've designed these fights around me having to like actually think and pre-plan shit. So who does well against my mono fighting? Pidgeotto. Air Slash will two-shot for sure. Pidgeotto is only going to take one attack because it is faster, and even a crit knockoff will not kill. So I can start with Pidgeotto, then he switches to Heracross, and then I can't, depending on how the first bit of this goes, I can't leave Pidgeotto in. But something I can do to improve Pidgeotto's odds is I have to go get it. So now you just get to marinate in the mystery of, oh, what's he going to do to make knockoff deal less damage? What a fraught, interesting question to ask. How can Heath make knockoff deal less damage? How will knockoff deal... you'll get it. We all get it. I'm taking the berry off. That means knockoff doesn't get the damage boost from actually striking an item. And there's no real opportunity cost because the first knockoff now will not deal enough damage to proc a berry. So who cares? Not that it would... I think the knockoff effect happens first anyway. Alright. Second battle start. Galarian Farfetch'd. Air Slash. Yes, I am definitely watching out for that double battle. That was a crit. Don't mind that at all. Very happy to see that. That crit means that now we can actually just very safely stay in on this Heracross and click Air Slash. Pin Missile deals pretty variable amount of damage. I'm going to let that be a surprise. There was a crit. As I switch over to the calculator, you can see that for Pin Missile, it calculates the damage as if 3 hits strike. What that means is that it can be less because it can be 2 hits, it can be 4 or 5 as well, which bumps up the numbers. It's got less crit variance, essentially, because each hit rolls its own chance to hit and to crit. And in Run and Bun, a crit is 1 in 16, which matches older Pokemon generations. Newer ones have a 1 in 24 crit rate. You can see here, it ended up only being 1 normal hit and 1 crit. So I am pretty comfy leaving Pidgeotto in. And then, let's count them. 1, 2, 3. Am I the dumbest man alive? Okay, if that had been 5 hits, Pidgeotto would have died. And I would have looked like such a dropkick. But I'm God's favorite child and I have not been punished. Alright, cool. So next battle will happen if I take like 1 step up. Let's take a look at the line planning tool. First opponent is a Guts Makuhita. So it has Fake Out to force me to flinch, and on its second turn it starts dealing way more damage because the Guts procs and burns it. The calculator already assumes that it's going to be burnt because of that. First turn the Fake Out's only going to do less damage, and then the burn will be applied and everything deals more. That said, Fake Out, like low damage Fake Out into higher damaged, probably Rock Throw. And I've got a 50-50-ish to one-shot with Air Slash. I'm kind of okay with that. That's kind of fine to me. Next would be Mankey. Mankey is No, Mankey's not going to be outsped because I have a lower speed IV, and the Mankey has a plus speed nature. It also has a focus sash. So I could have, if I wasn't paying attention, just been like, oh, it's fine, I'll outspeed and kill because the base is higher. And then I would have been outsped. Then I would have hit with Air Slash. Then it would have lived because of the focus sash. And then it would have killed me because of Reversal. Because Reversal deals more damage when it's low health. That has taken a Pokemon from me once already. So I don't want that to happen again. Instead, the play will be to switch to Masquerain. Because Masquerain will intimidate this thing. Masquerain's got an 80 base speed with a 31 IV, which means that its raw speed stat, as shown here... Oh my god, wait. look at that. This shows my actual stat. That's so nice. Thank you, Run and Bun Calculator. You continue to improve me. So I'm going to be faster than it, and I can click Gust to bring it down to 1 health while it uses Power Up Punch, and then I can Quick Attack, even though I'm faster than it, to take off that 1 last hit point. Then their last Pokemon is a Ledian with Adamant, Iron Fist, Muscle Band. You can do whatever you want to a Ledian. That's not ever going to make it good. I like it. I'm fine with there being bad Pokemon so long as they have good designs. That is what Ledian is. But when we say bad Pokemon, Ledian is like... There is like negative niche that exists for Ledian. Drink. And I'm saying all that just to sort of build drama, because if it KOs if that Ledian gets a KO, that's funny. That's funny as fuck. Alright, so Pidgeotto is at the front of the party. Correct. Pidgeotto is holding an Oran Berry. Correct. I have Masquerain to beat the Mankey, and Ponyta to beat the Ledian. Correct. I have everything I need, and I'm going to test Run and Bun again because it should heal my party at the outset of the battle. It only does that inside gyms, and even though I've confirmed that this works, I am still a little scared. It would have been funny if I came in at low HP. Alright, so here's the plan. This guy's about to use Fake Out. Damn, he faked me out. Now, this guy's about to use Bullet Punch 100% of the time, because he sees that Air Slash is a potential one-hit KO. Bullet Punch deals like 25% on the high end, even with the burn. This didn't one-hit KO. Damn, am I gonna take another Bullet Punch? I was setting up for that to reveal that I wasn't, because the burn chip would have finished it, but then I low rolled so the burn chip didn't finish it. So I'm going to take another Bullet Punch, but it doesn't matter because Kix will not do anything else in this fight. Kix just needed to kill this Makuhita. There we go. Ledian came out first. That's fine. That doesn't make any real difference to me because I can just switch to Ponyta, and then Flame Wheel will deal at least 50%. And then Ledian will get hurt, like, badly, and then get burnt. And then also not die to the chip. Burn does 8%. Flame Wheel... Like, look, Burn does 8%, right? Flame Wheel had a 90% minimum, 91% minimum. On the Makuhita, Air Slash had a 91.5% minimum. So it had to be an absolute minimum possible roll both times for neither of them to die to the burn. That's pretty good. Alright, there we go. And now the Mankey comes in, so we switch to Fren. Intimidate procs, cutting its attack. Oh, it's got Defiant. Its attack went up by 1 after that. So now Power Up Punch deals like 50%. It's guaranteed to power up. This doesn't matter. It's guaranteed to Power Up Punch now. I'm outspeeding it. It goes, oh fuck, I'm triggered by my Focus Sash. I'm still alive. Power Up Punch, now it's at +2 and it's at 1 hit point. If I let it actually hit me, it would deal a cool 215% of Masquerain's HP. But I'm still faster, and I'm just going to use Quick Attack just to like really lock in the emotional support. Not die. The no die please. Okay, cool. That's 3 gym trainers faced, 0 mistakes on gym trainers. The only error I've made was not thinking about the post-KO switch and the Ledian coming out, but it didn't matter because my plan doesn't have to change at all. So that's this girl done. Now, the one that I accidentally did a double battle last time I got through this gym was these two. Not making that mistake again. I'm doing these two as singles. Let's calculate them. So first up, Meditate into Machoke into Girder. Meditate has a secondary Psychic type, so Kadabra's not like a great pick because now it's only hitting it neutrally. Kadabra doesn't one-shot the Machoke and can but probably won't one-shot the Girder. It's also worth remembering that the Girder has low sweep that has a chance to... that drops speed when it is used, so it will sometimes think like, I should use low sweep because it might drop someone's speed. Not against Kadabra, but like against... who might it use low sweep against? No one. It never uses low sweep. What? Why did I think it would? I don't know. Anyway, Meditate is target number one. It's got pure power, so in this case, the Intimidate actually is relatively meaningful, dropping Rock Throw quite a lot. So I could start with Masquerain to get the Intimidate out, and then switch to something else. Or is there just something that like cleanly already 1v1s Meditate? This is not a great option. I mean, like... it feels like... what's 65 plus 28? It's like just under... that's like 92%, right? 93. So like if both of those min roll, it deals 93%, but like if anything... that's not a good way to like run a line though. You gotta find something better than that. Flame Wheel hits for a clean more than 50%. Cobra Berry. I gotta check what the Cobra Berry does. Reduces damage from flying type super effective hits. Okay, that's good to know, because that means that, like, Gust wouldn't do as much as I was expecting. Yeah, so Ponyta hits for, like, a minimum of 50. Eats a Fake Out for 25, and then if Brick Break crit after that, it would die. Tortuga can't... it can be crit. It's got Solid Rock, not Shell Armor. Brine deals like a fuckload. Oh my god. And then Aquajet on top of... I feel like Brine into Aquajet probably kills, like, most of the time, right? Oh, no, it's showing that much damage because it's at 1. Yeah, Brine does fuck all. So much thought needs to happen. Much to think about. Yeah, look, I think I can just Ponyta it and just not get crit. That feels fine. I'm just going to Ponyta it and then it won't crit me. So then it'll switch into one of the beefy boys in the back. They both have guts, but the Machoke... what change? Oh, I see. It, like, adds AI options because it's got moves that are, like, conditional based on AI events. So this one has leftover... so, like, I don't want to status either of them because of guts. If I switch to Masquerain, it gets a -1 attack drop, but it does have bulk up to, like, fight up against that. It's also got Facade, so, like, if I did status it, it's, like, disaster territory. But then Gust, like, one-shots it, and bulk up doesn't, like, reduce the damage of Guts, even if it's at, like, +6. Gust. And it can't one-shot me in return, so Masquerain is a totally fine response to the Machoke. Not to the Girder, because the Girder has Rock Throw. So I can 1v1 the Machoke with Masquerain, and then for Girder, if there's like any chip damage on it, I can just kill it with Kadabra. Otherwise, I switch to Seadra, I Bubble Beam twice, I wipe my ass, I hit the shower. Alright, that's a plan. So, first, who starts? Ponyta starts. Put Ponyta in. Everyone's got berries. Now don't double battle this. You go round, you go across, you lost, you get lost, and then you talk to this guy here. Now this is a single battle. I have circumvented the double battle. And this is the wrong guy. This is the other guy. Why is this the other guy? Alright, team meeting, branch meeting, emergency meeting. This is fine. Am I faster? 48, 40, yeah, I'm faster. It's got spore, so it might spore me. It's got a 60% chance to wake up slap and a 40% chance to spore. We want the wake up slap. Because even it's minimal chance that the crit would happen and kill. So we're going back into the fight. And we're just going to click fire spin and it's just going to be fine. This thing's going to click wake up slap and it's not going to kill me. And then it's going to click spore and now it's not fine. Now it's irksome. Okay, fine, I guess. Alright, so this guy's other two Pokemon are a Mindfu and a Lop Bunny. If it's the Mindfu, because I could switch to Masquerain, intimidate Breloom so that I take basically no damage, and then he would bring in the Lop Bunny next. I'm pretty confident because I outspeed and threaten a KO on Mindfu. You know what? This still works for me because Masquerain isn't doing much isn't going to win against Mindfu because I'm too scared of Rock Throw anyway. So Kadabra definitely wins against Mindfu, and I can switch Kadabra in on the Fake Out. So what I'm going to do is go back to the battle and switch to Friend. I think swapping to look at the calculator and what I'm thinking of is a better way to demonstrate what's happening. I'm trying to make this a visually pleasing experience insofar as it's within my abilities. Alright, there we go, that's dead, and I'm correct, he switched to Bunary, so now I actually have to plan out how to kill this Bunary. It doesn't matter what does the kill, because Kadabra will always take the Fake Out. I'll always be switching to Kadabra. So let's have a look at my resources. Ponyta's asleep, can't use that, and then I have 4 other Pokemon to play with. Now, Masquerain is threatened with a potential KO from Triple Axel here, it looks like, because Masquerain is on 54 HP. So it's always going to click Triple Axel and it's potentially going to kill me. And Triple Axel is bugged, be careful. So I don't want to risk that. I don't know what Triple Axel bugged, be careful really means. Does it mean it's bugged in the calculator or does it mean it's bugged in the game? Who knows? Ampharos can switch in, take even a max hit Triple Axel, Shockwave or Thunderwave, and then take another Triple Axel, which puts damage on the board. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch to Flaffy. So it takes a Fake Out. Okay, yeah, that's right. It's going to Fake Out because it's its first turn. That's great. That's exactly the sort of shit we wanted to have happen. So now Shockwave will deal about 40%, and then it will be fully powered, so I can just click Shockwave again, and then it will Triple Axel and it won't kill me, and then I can just click Shockwave again. And that thing dies, so now it goes to Mindfu, so I switch to Kadabra as discussed, take the Fake Out, doesn't matter, click Confusion, it used Detect because it saw it was going to die, and then click Confusion, and it dies. Cool, it didn't matter that I did the wrong trainer first. It still worked out completely in my favor. God's favorite child. Alright, so what was the plan here again? Just refreshing myself. It was Ponyta 1v1s, Meditite, then Masquerain 1v1s, Machoke, then Kadabra 1v1's Girder. Sounds right to me. So Ponyta's in front. Give another berry to Flaffy. I have the other two Pokemon I want. It sounds like it's time to win. So I stepped here. And then, okay, yeah, so I probably could have come at this guy from that spot south. And then done him first. Doesn't matter too much, like, I worked it out. I worked out how to avoid the double battle. So the fake out was expected. Now, detect because it sees it's in danger. And it... Did it try to double protect? What just happened? How come I didn't get attacked again? Anyway, it's imperative now that I switch out because I do not want that hitting me and proccing Flame Body. So the attack drop is great because with that bulk up, it's just now at like +0, +1. But that doesn't minimize the amount of damage that Gust is dealing. Facade deals basically nothing because it's not statused. And another Gust KOs. Girder comes in. Girder sees like the freest kill of its fucking life because I am statused. No, I'm chipped. I've eaten chips. So it's probably going to use Rock Throw, right? There's the Rock Throw. It crit, but because of the berry, I heal, and now even if it crits again, I don't die. And also it sees that it's going to die, so it's going to use Mach Punch, but then it's going to die. Yay! Alright, this is great. It's all working. I love it when a plan happens the way you plan it. Alright, next gym trainer is this one here. Battle Girl Jocelyn. A Kecleon, a Golett, a Pignite, a Hakamo-o. Tough customers. And OBS says it's now disconnected. OBS says it's now reconnected. So maybe that was a fun little extra for everyone playing along in the live crowd. Welcome back if I'm back. If I'm not, oh well. So let's look at the calculator and do some fucking maths. So Kecleon is out first. Who does a good job against Kecleon? Drain Punch, Dizzy Punch, Shadow Punch, Thunder Wave. You've got Protean, don't you? So you're also going to have Stab. Like, you're going to get Fighting type on your Punch. And then you're not going to take super effective damage from my nonsense. Which is annoying. Do I want to start with Masquerain then, just for like the free Intimidate? Kind of. And then it's almost guaranteed to use Thunder Wave. So then I can switch to Diggersby. And it will be an electric type because of Protean. And then Dig will not hit in time to take advantage of that because it will switch to being a fighting type. How much damage does Dig deal against a fighting type? Not enough to make my endorphins flood the zone. I mean, I still like that plan. Start with Masquerain, switch to Diggersby, and then just like assume Diggersby wins, even though it probably doesn't. So for now, I'm going to move on. Diggersby, no. Golett, just like 35, 60, 33, 24. So Golett is outsped and then out-healed by Roselia. Roselia just sort of... Shadow Punch deals a lot. But he's never going to click Shadow Punch turn 1 because he's going to be attacking the Diggersby. So instead I'll only take like 40%, not 50%. That's fine. Being more serious, I do have other options. For example, Luminion is garbage. I don't care if I lose it, and it can probably win the 1v1. Or, even better, Seadra actually just wins the 1v1, and I don't need to be so scared. Seadra also potentially just one-shots the Pig Knight. And for this Hakmo-O, it's got a special attack, a physical attack, protect, and iron defense. That's weird. That's a weird one. Overcoat prevents, like, powders. So I can't use powder on it. But I also can just kill it with Masquerain, who isn't doing anything in the rest of the fight. It just sets up Intimidate. Okay, that's a plan. Let's have a look. I do not have the little guy in... So do I, like... Whoa, careful. Don't accidentally walk into the trainer that you are not yet planned out. I know I don't need to heal, but might as well, right? Okay, so I want to take you instead of Flaffy. And I want to take you instead of... Why aren't I using Kadabra? I guess I could be using Kadabra. I'll have a Kadabra in the back and I'll get rid of Ponyta. The video is still buffering frequently. I'm just going to hope that the people in my apartment building all go to bed. It's just after 11 p.m. And frankly, my internet here is really good. It's just sometimes I like suspect that there's like peaks in demand that cause temporary hiccups. You know, that's part of living in society. Sometimes little things inconvenience you and you just get on with your day. Oh, I've walked in to start the battle and I haven't... There we go. You didn't miss anything except me navigating. Alright, so Intimidate intimidates that thing, dropping its attack. Zebra comes in. Is immune to Shadow Punch, so I want it to click Shadow Punch. No, it clicked Dizzy Punch. That's not the end of the world. So it is going to use Drain Punch like 100% of the time here, and Drain Punch will deal a clean lot of numbers. I don't know why I thought that Diggersby could win this. Diggersby definitely can't win this. I'm going to double kick. Okay. Yep, Drain Punch. I'm going to switch back to Masquerain and just get a second Intimidate off on it. And now that it's at -2, how does Masquerain do against it? Totally fine. Oh, it's going to click Thunder Wave, almost guaranteed, so... But I don't care, do I? Do I care? I think I care a little bit. I think I want to switch just in case. Yeah, there's the Thunder Wave, and now it's an electric type. Not that that, like, matters too much, because I can't, like, use Dig on it, because then it'll just change back to a fighting type, so... You know, it's just fun fact. It's now electric type. I'm going to double kick. It deals marginally more variable damage than takedown, but doesn't have recoil. So now it's a fighting type. I think it's just funny now to like intimidate this thing like 1,000,000 times. This is the most scared chameleon. Double kick again. Yes. I think I'm just going to click takedown now. Takedown does like 48 to 57. This should kill. There you go. Cool. It killed. Golett comes out. So Seadra easily 1v1s this with Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam deals like a 70 to 90%. And then it can't die to a Shadow Punch, and then it can just kill. Hakmo-O is next. Hakmo-O has Iron Defense, Dragon Breath, Protect, and Dragon Tail to phase me and switch me out and piss me off. None of those moves can like one-shot Seadra. Even a crit Dragon Breath doesn't one-shot me, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay in and use Twister. Whee! Holy shit. huge damage. Twister minimum does 37% with a normal hit, so I think I can just Twister again because of that crit. That was nice. So now Seadra is going to switch out because I don't want it to randomly die to this Pig Knight. Seadra's on 30, so let's look at the calculator right now. Seadra is on 13 hit points, so this Pig Knight has a huge chance of using Takedown, and a minimal chance of using Arm Thrust if it sees that Arm Thrust kills. The way the AI, like, picks an attack is attacks deal like a random amount of damage within a certain range of like the mathematical formula. The way the AI does is it rolls the dice to determine what the actual damage number will be and then decides with that number in its mind. So it doesn't like improve the number, but it does know what the number will be on a turn by turn basis. So I'm just going to look back at the game for a sec. I got everything's like healthy, and this is the last Pokemon. So Kadabra doesn't quite one-shot it. And then gets two shots. So I can't switch in Kadabra yet, but I can switch in Pidgeotto. Actually, no. I'm going to switch in Masquerain. Get that cheeky Intimidate out there. We love a cheeky Intimidate in this house. So it's probably clicking Takedown, and it is clicking Takedown, and it did Takedown. Now that it sees it's out front in Masquerain, it's going to use one of its Fire-type moves, probably. So I'm just going to flip over to Kicks. Flame Charge. Not ideal, because now it's faster, but also I'm just going to Feather Dance it, so its damage is going into the toilet. Although I am now reminded that it has Incinerate, and that didn't actually help me very much. So I'm sad. If I just click Gust, now I could switch to Kadabra and Confusion and it would die. But Kadabra does have good special defense, so I'm just going to switch to Kadabra anyway. Yeah, see, look at that. Good special defense. So we're going to use Confusion. And then we're going to take a Flame Charge. Now it's faster than me, right? It's used Flame Charge twice. So we look over here. We go +2. No, it is 1 speed point. Sorry. So it's at +2 speed. It has 1 point less than I have. So we actually are completely safe staying in and clicking Confusion again. Completely free. The video has, the OBS connection has dropped, but I'm just going to keep on trucking as if this is working, because at least it's still recording. So there we go. I beat that gym trainer. Attempting to reconnect. Attempt 2. Disconnected. Reconnecting in 3 seconds. Attempt 3. RIP. I'm back. We did it. Okay. Alright, so we are up to Brawly again. He is the fighting type gym leader for Gen 3. And I have a better box than I had last time I went up against Brawly. This is good news. See, it's not just OBS, I'm realizing, it's like my internet in general. Alright, maybe I'm back, maybe I'm not. I am back? I'm not back. I'm back, baby! Huh. Yeah, it's a bit of a snafu, isn't it? we do what... yeah, I think we're going to call it here, because it's going to keep being intermittent like this. I am up to Broly, so I may spend some time tomorrow planning the fight, and then tomorrow evening, or later this week, we take down the Punchy Surfer. Thanks for coming along. Now I have to wait for those messages I typed to appear in my Twitch chat thing on the stream. There we go, there's number 1. You're not wide awake! Alright. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm not really going to apologize for funky internet because it happens to everyone and you just have to accept it and be gracious. Bye!